We are living in unprecedented times. No matter what industry you come from, we must all review, rethink, and reinvent ourselves. Are you an entrepreneur that is trying to adapt your business to the new norm? Well, you are listening to the 2020 Entrepreneur, a podcast that will motivate you and have you think outside of the box. My name is Hugo Almeida, and with over 30 years of being an entrepreneur, I am here to share and inspire you with my experiences and help invent a new you. Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to T20E World. It's Hugo here, and today we're going to be talking about change. Tough topic to accept here, my friends, and it's so important, and which is why I bring it up. Whenever I give chats out there or speeches, presentations, whatever it may be, I always bring this one thing up, and that is the word change. And the reason is because the sooner that we learn to embrace change, the easier it becomes for us to move in one direction, and that is forward. You see, change is that one obstacle in life that can really stump us. And listen, we all know people that just can never accept any change in their life. I mean, it could be because of their age. It could be just because they're stubborn. I don't know. Whatever the reason may be, change is not ever an easy thing to just accept. Listen, it takes experience and it takes years of just maturing and understanding also circumstances. There are things that happen in our lives that are way beyond our control, things that just happen. We have to learn to accept these things sometimes because it's all part of life. I'm not saying it's easy. Listen, as I'm talking to you about change, I want you to start thinking right now that one event in your life that was very difficult for you to accept. It's never easy. Listen, I'll be honest. I'm going to share this with everybody. The hardest thing in my life, I was 23. The man I looked up to my entire life since birth was my father. Not only my friend, my coworker, and my mentor. I mean, he was just the greatest individual, the greatest human I ever knew. And I lost him. I remember him going into the hospital. I remember going up. I mean, I was the older son. I had to talk to the doctors. My mom was just in pieces. My sister was young. I remember that day. The doctor just said, "Son, your dad might not be going home." I'm going to tell you right now, I went numb. I mean, I don't know how to explain this feeling I had at the age of 23, where my life was all about just hanging out with my friends and, just loving life, man. Doing what every normal 23-year-old kid would do. Work, study, hang out. My life changed that weekend. It changed. Never went back to the way it used to be. Obviously, losing my pop was a devastation to our family. He was the core. It was really hard. And we don't have that much family in the U.S. to begin with. So you could imagine how difficult it was for us to just pick up all those pieces and somehow try to figure out all those things that he left behind for us to kind of put together and figure it out amongst ourselves. I mean, I was 23 trying to now take care of my sister, my mother, the house, the bills. I didn't have a career just yet. I was just starting. And all of a sudden, the life I knew last Saturday to the life I wound up living starting the following Sunday changed night to day. So think about that one event in your life that was really difficult for you to accept. I mean, it doesn't have to be death, and I'm sorry to make it so damper, but it's reality, right? I like to talk about the things that are real in our lives, real situations. Why sugarcoat anything? That, my friends, was my toughest time. As I've gotten older, as I've matured, and as I've lived other experiences, I've learned to embrace change because it is part of life. It's like a little leaf, right? Coming off a tree, floating down, and lands on a river. And that river has a current. You're flowing sometimes. Sometimes you have to go with the current. It's the best example I could think of. You're not going to go upstream. Not easy. I know the salmon do it. But listen, it's just you're fighting a battle you're just not going to win, man. It's going to drain you emotionally. You got to kind of always, in a positive way, accept it, embrace it, move forward. At the end of the day, my friends, all those listeners I have right now, change is one of those topics in your life that's going to be always consistent. The sooner we learn to accept it, the sooner we understand how to embrace it, the better we're going to be. we're going to be able to move forward. We're going to be able to go over those hurdles. Now, I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I am telling you that the sooner you learn to embrace it in whichever way you find fit, every one of us react to situations very differently, right? As I've gotten older, I've learned to think it through. I've learned that, well, listen, it's another curveball, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Shoot, I always talk about the curveballs you're doing, right? Every day there's something happening. There's always a change. You have to kind of go with the flow sometimes. Friends out there, maybe family members that just have a tough time accepting any type of change. Whether it's school, whether you're moving, whether you're starting a new university, or whether you're just happen to be uprooted in the middle of a school year, and all of a sudden you're leaving your friends and starting a new one. Trying to make new friends at an older age is never easy. These are changes that are realistic, that happen to all of us sometime in our life, and they're tough. They really are tough. I use an example of death because that is no BS here. That is the toughest thing to accept sometimes in life because it's a change. It's a change that, you didn't see it coming. You get blindsided sometimes. And you know what? You know for a fact, life ain't stopping for you. Life ain't stopping for anyone, my friends. Life continues, and we have to learn to move forward. Listen, that's the lesson I just want to kind of talk about today. I really want you guys listening today to this episode to learn somehow to accept, embrace, change, to be consistent in moving in one direction, and that is forward. The sooner we do that, my friends, the better we're going to be. Trust me, not only emotionally, but physically. It's going to enlighten us. It's going to make our life a lot more positive. Once we learn to embrace it, we can really, on the dime, quickly redirect ourselves, figuring out, okay, this happened. What am I going to do about it? Moving forward. Anything to move forward. That's the direction we always want to work towards. That's it, my friends. I wanted to talk to you about embracing change today. Hope you found great value in this. Listen, think about that one time, that one event in your life. How did you overcome it? Answer that question yourself. Thank you so much for listening to T20E World, and this is Hugo checking out.